In recent times, there has been more and more interest in the safety of vehicles. This is also the case for Skoda. In this video, we should like to introduce you to the airbag system installed into Skoda cars. The airbag system belongs among the so-called passive safety systems, i.e. elements increasing the safety for passengers and driver in the event of an accident. The electronically controlled system is made up of three elements: the control unit, the driver's module, and the passenger module. For even greater safety in Skoda vehicles, the airbag system is installed in combination with special seatbelt tensioners, consisting of its own tensioning element, retracting system, and Bowden cable. The tensioner is mechanically controlled. Prior to disassembly or assembly of the driver's module, you must be aware that you are working with explosive materials, and so it is essential to proceed according to the workshop manual and to comply with the pertinent safety regulations. First, we disconnect the battery negative cable, and only then may we begin with the actual disassembly of the module. On the reverse side of the steering wheel, loosen the two hexagonal screws. Then remove the module and disconnect the connector linking the module to the spiral link located within the steering wheel. Before removing the steering wheel, the front wheels must be aligned along the driving axis of the car. Remove the lower covering of the steering column. Slide back the protective sheath and disconnect the connector linking the steering wheel to the vehicle's wiring loom. Now unscrew the steering wheel retaining nut. And pull the steering wheel off the steering column. Careful, after removing the steering wheel, do not rotate the locating part of the spiral link on the underside of the wheel, for this could become damaged. When assembling the steering wheel, proceed in the reverse order. Make sure the front wheels are facing directly forward, then install the steering wheel. If installing a new steering wheel, the protective clips used in transportation must be cut off after installation. These clips help to ensure the central alignment of the spiral link. Tighten the steering wheel nut to a torque of 30 Newton meters. Connect the steering wheel connector to its opposite number on the vehicle loom and position the foam rubber sheath. Then attach the lower covering of the steering column. And you are now ready to install the actual driver's module. First, connect the module's connector to the spiral link connector and carefully slide the module into the steering wheel housing. It should slip onto both screws, but take care to center the module properly. Then tighten fully to a torque of 5 Newton meters. Before removing the passenger module, you must once again disconnect the battery negative cable. Then carefully loosen the plastic module cover and set it aside on the dashboard. Loosen the 4 nuts by which the module is secured to the holder. Disconnect the wire connector and carefully remove the module from the dashboard. Assembly takes place in reverse order. Plug in the wiring connector, insert the module into the dashboard, and secure it with the 4 nuts to the holder. Tightening these to a torque of 5 to 7 Newton meters. Then repack the textile belt and snap on the plastic module cover. The control unit is located on the floor at the front of the central tunnel. Prior to disassembly, you must again disconnect the battery cable. Then dismantle the central console and remove the seat and carpet. Unplug the control unit connector. Careful about the connector latch, which we shall discuss later. Then unscrew the retaining nuts and remove the control unit. In order to avoid possible damage during assembly and disassembly, watch the function of the control unit's connector latch. In this position, the connector is loose. While in this position, the connector is prevented from slipping out. When assembling the control unit, you should ensure that the studs which serve to ground the unit are clean. secure the control unit onto the clean studs, and because the connection is of literally vital importance, tighten to a torque of 9 Newton meters. Install the connector, and again watch out for the correct latch position. Replace the carpeting, the central console, and other accessories. Turn on the ignition, and only then reconnect the battery cable. Careful, nobody must be inside the vehicle at this moment. The airbag warning light is located on the very right-hand side of the instrument panel. If everything is all right, the light should shine for only 4 seconds after turning on the ignition. If there is a fault in the system, the warning light will continue to shine. The function of the warning light is described in detail in the pertinent owner's manual. The diagnostics of the airbag system are carried out by means of the VAG 1552 instrument. After connecting this instrument to the diagnostic connector located under the dashboard, request the address for the airbag electronics. Address word 15, airbag. By requesting function 02, you will ask for information on any faults in the memory. If there is indeed a fault located in the memory, the pertinent fault code will appear on the display. A survey of all fault codes is to be found in the airbag chapter of the workshop manual. In case you wish to install a new airbag control unit, it must then be activated. Request function 07, the coding of the control unit, and proceed with the relevant 5-digit code given in the Felicia workshop manual. After entering the correct code, the control unit is activated. In the case where there is an airbag for both driver and passenger, the VAG 1552 instrument may also be used to disengage the passenger module. Enter function 10. Adaptation. Channel number 01. Press the keys with the vertical arrows, thereby altering the value between 0 and 1. This disengages or engages the module depending on the value. You can recognize if the module is disengaged when you turn on the ignition, as the airbag warning light will shine for 4 seconds and then flash for 12 seconds at a frequency of 2 Hz. The passenger module may be engaged by proceeding in the same order but changing the value. The actual seatbelt tensioner is located on the floor along the door threshold under the carpeting. It is linked via a Bowden cable to the seatbelt retractor mechanism, which is built in the same way as a classic seatbelt without the tensioner. The belt tensioner is activated mechanically by means of a sensor inside the tensioner. Prior to disassembly, remove the seat, the plastic cover of the door threshold, and the front carpeting. Then remove the seat belt with the retractor mechanism. Loosen the hexagonal bolt and carefully remove the tensioner. Assembly takes place in the reverse order, i.e. insert the tensioner, tighten the bolt to disable the transportation lock, by moving it to the operating position. The tightening torque is 18 Newton meters. Then assemble the retractor mechanism with the seat belt. If the tensioner has been activated, the entire seatbelt system must be replaced. A tensioner which has been activated may be recognized by the missing white cover at the free end. Let us repeat the basic safety regulations for working with individual components of the airbag system. Only trained personnel may carry out any form of work. Before beginning any work, always disconnect the negative pole of the battery. Use only the VAG 1552 or 1551 testers for diagnostics. Whenever temporarily putting the module down on a surface, keep the airbag facing up. When carrying the module, however, the airbag must be facing away from the body. Assemble the modules immediately after removal from the transport packaging, and replace it in the packaging if the installation process is at all interrupted. Damaged modules must not be used. When reconnecting the negative pole to the battery, nobody must be inside the vehicle. If the module is to be set off artificially, for example prior to disposal, this must take place in the vehicle itself by means of the VAG 1821 instrument. Disconnect the negative pole of the battery, and then connect the module through a special cable to the VAG 1821. Place the battery about 10 meters away from the vehicle. Connect the ignition circuit to it, and set off the module. The vehicle doors must be closed and nobody must be in the vehicle. In conclusion, let us look at the individual phases of activity of the airbag system upon collision. We trust that this video will be of assistance when working with the new system designed to increase the safety of Skoda vehicles.